It's about my arms.
I'm with you. I hear you.
So I covered them up.
There you go.
But if it was super, super hot, you would take that off. I would take it off. But yeah, I avoid like.
Like this shower or something. I like this little cardigan too.
Yeah, it goes with it. So
That was very nice.
I have a green one that matches too with the green and the. And again. Really that tall? It's pretty, this big minute. Crap on it. How long? Over and above. Over and above. Hey. I have a mouse. I do have a mouse. I just would like you both to see the room. Wait, I lost my drink. I'll be right back. It's a Monday after a holiday. I'll say I had it. Sorry. Maria. I saw your email last night. I shut down early with the holiday and nothing was going on.
You're okay.
Yeah, we probably should. Did you not do that when you were with Bria?
We did. That's why I didn't know if you just wanted.
I'm not
to...
hearing you. Hold on. I need to fix the sound bar.
Okay.
Now try it.
I said I didn't know if you wanted to do it or we were just going to transfer what me and Bria did.
We can do whatever. Do you have a copy of what you and Bria did?
I believe I do. Yes, I could send it to you.
Why don't you email that to me to start?
Okay.
And then, do you know, are you on the coaching Facebook page?
I don't have Facebook. I just got Instagram for the first time.
You never know what I'm talking about. I will send you the link of how to schedule an appointment with me.
Okay.
Because we definitely want to do that. So I was going to say, we can start with what you did with Bria and then tweak it if we need to.
Okay.
So I'd rather start with something than start from scratch.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll send you that.
All right. Where are all our friends? I don't know either. Ouch.
I don't have my kids today. I'm like, what? I'm ready.
Oh, girl, no kids. You should have come on over to the office.
I know I should have. Well, I have my son. He's sleeping, but my daughter and my best friend took to the museum. So.
Oh my God, how wonderful is that?
It's so quiet. I love it.
Well, you know what that's called? It's hammer time. It is hammer time. Christina, are you cutting hair? Or are you driving or what's your situation?
Yes, I am driving. I have an appointment for health insurance for Madison.
Nice. Well, that's important.
Yes,
Did I give you my health insurance, lady?
you did. You did.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
yes, it's been helpful. Thank you, Margaret.
Wow. Well, with only 2 of you here today, Stacy, Can you do me a favor? Can you take my phone and start texting the people who normally show up for coaching and find out where they are?
Okay.
I only have Maria and Christina. And while I love this because we can get into some really heavy stuff and be super productive, I'm feeling like nobody loves me anymore. They're just not here. Like, I don't know where the Taylors are. I don't know where Jeff is. So, all right.
He probably ate too much.
Yeah,
and
people hate
sleeping.
Mondays. I love Mondays.
Maybe. You love Mondays?
I do.
Tell me why you love Mondays.
I don't know. I'm just a morning person. I'm just one of those people.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I remember a really good friend of mine, we called him Grumpy. And he's not. So anyway, Terry's one night, we were sitting at the bowling alley and it was Friday. And I was like, oh my God, I just do not want Monday to get here. Like, I just had the Monday bad attitude. And he said something that night that has stuck with me for years. And it is so very true. So just a little background, he worked as the head of the safety department for a very large oil and gas company here in town. And he says, are you kidding me, Margaret? I love Mondays. He goes, it's Fridays that I don't like. It's like, what? Like, who doesn't like a Friday, right? And he says, and this is where it gets critical, right? He says, Margaret, there is nothing that can happen on Monday that I can't have fixed by Friday. But if something goes wrong on Friday afternoon, I can't get it fixed. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. Like, if an oil rig blows up, he can deal with it between Monday to Friday. But if it happens on Friday, he just lost his weekend. So I kind of like that mindset about there's nothing that can go wrong on a Monday I can't have fixed by Friday. So I think our industry is a little different, and yet I think there's a lot of truth to it. So anyway, so there I go. Mindset moment for Monday. Anybody got any good news to share? Talk to me. Maria, I think you do. I think you just don't know it. So you asked me a question over the weekend about 55 plus. So normally that wouldn't be just a random question that somebody would just come up with to say, hey, I was wondering if 55 plus communities, right? So what was driving that question?
I have a client who she's having a hard time finding a place in her budget, and she just turned 54. So she was asking me, when I turned 55, would it be like, would a community take me? And I was thinking about it, like, they would take you, but her husband is 15 years younger, and I wasn't sure how that worked. So I would just ask you. I know I just randomly email you all random all the time. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. So that's a great conversation. So first of all, do you know who Casey Fogelman is?
No.
So Casey Fogelman is in our Momentum group.
Okay.
And she sells a lot of properties out in Windsor Gardens.
Okay, yeah, that's where she wants to be.
Okay, so Windsor Gardens and Heather Gardens are both 55 plus communities.
Yes, looked it up.
I believe that some of them even will take you younger than that.
Oh.
So especially if that's where they want to be, because they're a lower price point.
Mm-hmm.
Now their HOA fees are ridiculous, but everything's included, right?
I told her
you
that.
don't have to pay public service rates, all of that. So
You want that.
you might reach out to Casey.
Okay.
As a fellow coaching agent, and just say, hey, I was talking to Margaret and this is the situation. And I understand you know a lot about Windsor Gardens. What can you tell me? Because it's possible even at 54, they might take her.
Okay, yeah, because she's she's extremely stressed out because she's supposed to be out of her apartment at the end of this month, but we haven't found anything. And I know she has already renewed her lease for 6 months because she needs another 2 months before she can get approved because her credit was weird. So the lender, we had to wait until she got credit, and it's been a process for her. So she feels very stressed, and I don't know how to comfort her because I comfort her in the best way I know. this will probably make her feel a lot better. If we can get in a meeting and she could see it, maybe she'll feel more, I don't
Yeah.
know, less stressed about it, because she's hating the market now. And I said, everybody hates it. It's just unpredictable right now. But it doesn't mean we can't wait. We don't have to jump on it right now. She's just so, but I understand her wanting to jump on it quickly.
Sure. So let's talk about the market right now. So I kind of like the market we're in right now.
Okay, sorry.
Coming out of 2021 and early 2022, where the market was about how fast do I have to get a client out to see the house, and can I get the offer in time before they take another one? And we have 5 minutes to make all of these big critical decisions, and it was horrible.
So
It
is
wasn't
it
good
good
for anybody.
that I'm telling her to take her time? It's okay to take her time, because everyone's like, oh no, you should make her go fast. I'm like, well, she's not.
No.
I don't want her to make an impulse.
My number one saying is it's their time, not mine. Right now, that being said, counseling her, right? And so, you know, she doesn't like the market we're in. You said it was kind of weird. Actually, it's a lot more stable now. Right now, it's still highly competitive. It's the spring market, but it's more of a normal spring market. Like, we are not seeing people who are paying $100,000 and $200,000 over list price, right? That doesn't exist. It might be 10, maybe 10,000. All of a sudden, it's a much more reasonable market. People have time, right? In those 55 plus communities, there is inventory, right? And so, especially in Windsor and in Heather Gardens. And so she's in a good place.
Yeah.
The key to her is to educate her.
That's
right.
Mhm.
Because as my old boss used to say, the facts will set you free, right? It's when you don't know what you don't know, you stress out. When you know, you don't stress out.
Okay.
So, because you can make decisions, right? Okay, I know that I need to do these 5 things to fix my credit. If I have it done, I will be ready in 2 months. Well, 2 months is going to be a blink of an eye, right? That's the end of school, right? The reality is, from a buyer's perspective, going on the market in June and July is there's going to be more inventory. There always is more inventory in June and July, and it's not as competitive because the other buyers have already left the market. They've either gotten burned out or they found their house.
Okay.
So her market and her timing isn't going to be bad.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is invite her. So I'll just remind you guys, remember, we've got the home buying information night where all you have to do is bring your client.
Okay. When is that night?
And you know what? You wouldn't have gotten it because you were in the transition.
Okay.
It is the 19th of April in Old Town at 5:30. So, excuse me, 5:30 to 6. We're going to just do some social time, some light appetizers and, you know, non-alcoholic beverages. And then it's from 6 to 7. I'm going to actually teach the home buying workshop.
Okay.
Mitch is going to be there as our lender, and he can help people get started in the pre-approval process. I'm doing the lifting. My goal is that for those of you that get your people there, is that I close the deal for you.
Okay.
Where they say they are ready to join you at the hip. Okay. We need to know how many people you have coming. So there's an RSVP process. So if you would send a note to my email,
Okay.
or Stacy's, either one, and just say, please forward me the home buying information stuff. It'll give you the links to the material to put on your Instagram, to send out to people. Like, I've got a copy of it on my phone and I just send people a photo of it. And also a place to put in the RSVPs, because we need to know how many people to expect. Every person who comes will get a free copy of the Your First Home book. So I am providing those to your clients for you. And everyone that comes will have the opportunity to win a free pair of AirPods. So super excited about it, right? Let's get people to it, as many as we possibly can. Christina, have you been able to invite anybody to that?
I did reach out to a couple that have been interested, like that client that I had who wanted to move in 16 months, but kind of want to see what the market was doing because he was still interested in seeing what was out there now. So I've invited him. I have it up at my at the shop.
Good.
I put it in two other salons that two other friend of mine that have their own little rooms. So I put them in those salons. And I have reached out on Facebook. I've reached out to a couple other
Nice.
people that I know that's been interested, but I don't have any yes for sure coming.
Got it. Okay. Well, keep working on it, right? I think it's just a great opportunity where all you have to do is bring your people. I'll do the rest, right? Mitch and I'll take care of the rest. So hopefully it'll be successful and it'll give us lots and lots of buyers to work on. Fantastic. And I went and gave Stacy my phone because
So Margaret,
I want to know where people are.
I have a potential client that I work with. His house is in Denver. I think it's like a 5-bedroom house, all paid for. He wants to get into an RV, but he's scared to start that process. He's like, I've been in the house for a long time. I don't know what to do. And I was like, let me help you. You know, if you need to clean it out, I can help you. I get like, you know, discounts on trash. And so, you know, I'm trying to get him started, but he's like, I'm really scared. I've had this house for, I think he said like 20 something years. So I don't know what the condition of the house is, but how do I get him to get more comfortable with the idea of selling it since he wants to get in an RV and kind of like.
So when you get in the RV, Joe, what are you gonna do? Tell me about that.
Okay.
What's that gonna look like? Where are you gonna go? Like, man, we sell the house, the RV's bought. Where's the first place you're gonna go? Right? You got to get him excited about moving because here's the deal. He doesn't have a compelling event. Okay. He doesn't have well, I got to get moved to get the kids in school for the fall, right? I have to move because we're having a baby. Like he doesn't have anything creating any sense of urgency for him. Okay. So you need to really drive in your buyer consultation, drive down and into why. The dream, right? Are you going to be retired while you're doing that? Or did you get a job where you can work anywhere? A friend of mine did that. She put her family in their RV every summer since COVID, and they would just drive everywhere. And Amy would work during the day at wherever she was. And
yeah, he's single, no kids, no nothing.
Right.
He cooks with me, and he, you know, he's also retired, so he only works like 20 hours a week.
Mm-hmm. So you got to touch their heart.
Okay.
Right? You got to touch their heart. The reason why he wants to do this. Okay. That's the first step. Okay. You got to get him excited. You got to get him motivated. You got to get him all of those things. Right. Yeah. Then the other component to it is that the how, right? He's been in that house for 20 years. I've been in my house a year, and the thought of cleaning out the linen closet like makes me nervous.
That's what he said.
Right. So here is this. I have worked with several clients who similar, right? They're downsizing. Maybe they're moving to Arizona, right? People in my generation. Okay. What works is this. I get it. It's overwhelming. I can't imagine doing it to my own house. Here's what a client of mine did. And I've shared this strategy with multiple other people. And it works. As a matter of fact, I did it on my last move and I was shocked. Pick a room that you don't live in. Don't pick your master bedroom. Don't take your kitchen. Don't do your living room. Go do your guest room. Go do the office. Go do a room you don't do often. And go through every single thing in that room, every closet, every drawer, everything. You're either going to throw it away, or you're going to donate it, or you're going to keep it in that room. Once that room is 100% done, oh, ouch. Jeff just whacked his knee hard. Ow, yeah, that I heard it. It sounded horrible. Once that room is done, so that the only thing in there is the stuff you're going to take with you, close the door. Then go to the next room and the next room and the next room, and all of a sudden it'll be done, because as doors are getting closed, you feel like you're making progress. Now, if he's moving into an RV, he's pretty much going to have a vacant house when we get done. Right? So for him, I would say for you to get over there and look at what quality the furniture is, right? He's going to probably want to live in the house while you're selling it, right? He's not buying the RV first. Okay. So leave the furniture, but get rid of the crap. right? And so anything that's left behind is either the furniture that you get rid of after we sell it, or B is going in the RV with you. One room at a time, one closet at a time. Okay. The other thing that Pat did was she knew and learned that ARC stopped on Wednesdays and DAV stopped on Fridays, and this one stopped on Mondays. And she literally had boxes and she put them on her front porch, and she scheduled pickups with those places every time they were in the neighborhood. So when she would take something out to donate it, it would go out to the front porch. And by the time she went, oh man, I wonder where that thing is, the company had already come and taken it away, so it couldn't come back in the house. Okay, so that is a strategy that I use with a lot of people who are struggling with there's just so much here to do, I don't know where to start. Okay. Morning. All right. So yeah, good. You've got some people, Maria. Traction is good.
I do. I talk a lot to people. I work in the hotel business, so people just naturally talk to me, and then I'm like, oh, well, let me help you. My boss was laughing at me. My chef was like, Maria, again. I was like, what? He's just telling me. So I gave him my card because I have cards.
Good. That's exactly what you should be doing. Now you just need to print out the invitations to the home buying seminar, and away you go. Away you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Did you get the motorcycle out yesterday?
I really wanted to, but my plates aren't in yet. They expired.
Tomorrow, man, 80 degrees, baby. 80
I'm
degrees.
happy to take a risk to drive around the block.
I would. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
What's it going to do? It's going to cost you some money.
It's money.
It's just money. That's like my friend who I used to go play blackjack with. He would always tease me. Margaret, it's just a chip. Doesn't matter if it's silver, red, green, or black. It's just a chip. And I'm like, yeah, no, those green ones are way too big. Okay, it is hot in here today. All right. All right, what else? I had something I wanted to talk about. So I want to make sure you all have these things on your radar. So on let's see, make sure I get the date right. It looks like it's Tuesday. Tomorrow, it looks like we are having a class with Rachel Adams Lee from 12 to 2. It is a Zoom. You've got to register for it. Have any of you ever taken one of Rachel's classes? Jeff has. Okay, so we actually have her coming 3 times in the month of April. She is a mama of 3 littles. Oh, by the way. Yeah. The newborn was almost born on his brother's first birthday. So she has 3 under 3. Okay. She runs 4 businesses with her husband. She's a top performing real estate agent. She is a coach. She owns a coaching business and a hair business. And I don't even know what their 4th business is. But anyway, she's going to come and talk about developing business and social media and a lot of the things that she has done. So I strongly encourage you guys all to register for that class. It was in Elizabeth's email over the weekend about being ready for this week. So definitely plan on that one. Then we've got the team rally on, looks like Wednesday. And the other big one is, how many of you guys started last week going to the video classes that Bria and Charles are doing? Did anybody take any of those?
I was there for like 15 minutes. So I was driving. Pretty good. They kind of showed some basics as far as like navigation and how to do things on Twitter or Facebook.
I don't know. They're doing them all. Here's the thing. Here's what we hear. I would say that probably over 95% of the agents in the coaching program have the word social media in their GPS, either as a way to stay in touch with their current sphere or to find more people, or both. But then you don't do anything. And the reason you don't do anything is you all freeze because you don't know what to do. So Charles and Bria are teaching a class that not only does what Jeff described in the first 15 minutes, but the second 15 minutes is they actually give you the script, They actually tell you what to say. They give you the graphics. They give you everything. Okay. So all you have to do is just basically put it on your media. Okay. So please make sure that you're plugging into those, because those are some really, really great classes. They're doing 14 of those this month, right? So that's 14 posts that we are giving to you. On Thursday, one of my favorite instructors, Mr. Gene Rivers, is coming to town. He is teaching a class called Agent Financials. That sounds like the most unsexy way to spend a day in my life, but if you're with Gene, it'll actually be kind of sexy. Last week when we were at the regional leadership meeting, we convinced Russ that it needed to be free. So it's free. It costs you nothing. It was like 99 or 129 bucks, something like that. If you were already registered, they're giving you your money back. But if you want to go to that, I would encourage it. I promise you, you will learn multiple things from Gene, not just about money. Next Saturday on Dual Career, I'm teaching inspections. Basically how to handle inspection negotiations, how to make sure a deal doesn't fall apart, and just the art of negotiating. So it's going to be hopefully a good class. I probably should build some content. Okay. Next Wednesday, the 19th, is a big day because we've got the home information seminar at night. Did any of you go to the live listing consultation that I did last month with Brittany Heckenberg? Did anybody come to that? No? Did anybody go watch the replay? Okay, so the number one thing we get asked for all the time is, can I go shadow an experienced agent on a listing consultation? Can I go shadow an experienced agent on a buyer consultation? Well, we did that. We did the listing one last month. So I would encourage you, unless you've been doing tons of listings, to go watch it. Okay, the recordings, you know, Elizabeth's now got this YouTube channel up. I guarantee the recordings are there. I also know that Stacy grabbed it and downloaded onto the coaching YouTube channel. So please make sure, if you want to watch an expert handle a very nasty seller, go watch it. By the way, I was the seller. But you laugh, it was not fake, other than the fact I'm not selling, but it was on my house. Brittany did the homework on the comps. I pushed back as if I really was selling it and not being in the industry. So that was really good. This month, we're doing a live buyer consultation. This month, it is with another top performing team in our market center. They made the top 100 in the region, right? I'm bringing you the top 100 agents in the region to teach you. Show up. Okay. And they are going to do a live buyer consultation with someone who is getting ready to buy a house. Okay. So you asked, I delivered, show up. Fair? Fair. Maria, a good thing I read lips because Maria's gone fair. Fair, fair, fair. All right. Also, make sure we are starting Ignite. Okay. Oh my God. We are doing some crazy stuff. I don't know when I'm asleep in May, but I'll figure it out. Okay. I heard sleep is overrated. So in the month of May, Ignite is starting. So let me tell you, first of all, if you are not closing 16 transactions a year, you should be in Ignite. Now, some of you are going to say, well, Margaret, I've taken parts of it. That's good. Take it again, because it's about building habits. It's not just a class. It's designed to get you in the momentum. So the key is to execute. We've tried doing it boot camp style. We have tried all these different things. We're trying something different this time. So Ignite is going to start in May. Now, we're going to do it. You have access to Ignite 5 times a week. First one, during the day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 to 2, live in the market center, not available by Zoom. The reason we're doing this is that I know, and so do you, when you guys are on Zoom, you're not all in. right? Now Christina's driving, so I'm gonna give her a hall pass, so this is not at her. But when you don't have when you don't even show me your face and I end the Zoom and you're still there 5 minutes after I stop the class, you weren't there. You will get more out of the class being in person. So in person, Ignite, twice a week, starting Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 to 2. We will be taking the second Thursday of the month off because that is Red Day. Red Day is the day that we all shut down our businesses and we go out and we give back to our community. I have not yet heard what we're doing this year. We have done everything from, oh man. We did what?
Last year was clean up of those two shelters.
Yep, we did a bunch of work, outside work around a couple of locations for I can't remember the Ralston House. The Ralston House is there for kids that have gone through things that none of us should ever think about having to go through. So we did tons of yard and landscaping to make it a more happy place to be. We didn't do any inside work there, did we?
No.
No. Prior year we worked, one other year we worked at a place that helps young women get off the street or out of prison. And typically they were pregnant or just recently had children. So it was a house where they could come live, and there was a food pantry downstairs that was disgusting because the mice had got into stuff. We have painted the outsides of buildings. We've done field day at little elementary schools. We've done just a lot of things. I don't know what we're doing this year, but block your calendar now for Red Day. Just plan to come. It's a great time to be with people there at the office. It feels good to go back and just, you see what really pretty light work, but when you have a lot of people doing a lot of light work all at the same time, it looks like a big impact, and it is. Then we're also doing Ignite at night. On Mondays and Wednesday nights, we are doing Ignite by Zoom only for our dual career friends. Now, most of you don't fall into that category, right? But if you can only do Zoom, which I hate, I would rather you be in here, but we also are going to do Ignite twice a week, Mondays through Wednesdays, starting at, I want to say 5. I think it only goes 5 to 7. I need to confirm that.
This is just repeat the morning classes, or?
Well, it's not, so it's being taught by a different instructor. So we actually have a coach that is going to start really leading into our dual careers. So Kelly out of Castle Rock will be doing, she's already got some dual career stuff she's doing down in Castle Rock on Monday and Wednesday nights. So we're just going to layer in the Ignite so that you all get to join. And most of you that are at this call with me should be able to make the daytime one, right? Then, if that doesn't work, there also is a Facebook group that does Ignite at night, and they do one session a month, and it is taught by coaches nationally. So I teach one time a year on that. And because I teach one time a year, you guys have access to that Facebook group. All of this stuff is going to come out in email, you guys. I don't expect you guys to go to 5 sessions of Ignite a week. I expect you to go to 2. Preferably the daytime one, because you will get more out of it, I promise. Because that's 3 to 4 hours instead of only 2 hours in Ignite. So the nighttime one is going to be content only. The other ones are going to be workshop, practice, do it, get it done kind of stuff. And then we've got dual career on Saturday, 9 to 11 on Zoom. I don't care if you're a dual career agent or not. We're building out different content. Like this month, we're doing inspections, right? How to manage your buyer, how to manage your seller. So if that's something you want to join, I don't care if you come to coaching 100 times a week, honestly. But I'd rather you be out doing business. Okay. Questions on what's coming? Does that sound like a lot?
Yeah.
Right? Like we literally have something available to the coaching team 6 days a week. Whew, that's a lot. Plus open houses on the weekends, and away we go. So, all right. Perfect. All right. Any questions you all have for me? Who knows what Ask the Coach is? Jeff, what is Ask the Coach?
Twice a day, get an opportunity to ask questions, random questions that other people might hear something they need to hear anyway. And it's just a good resource if you just get some random question rather than bothering Margaret in the middle of the day when she's busy.
Exactly. Ask the Coach is 10 times a week. It's Monday through Friday, 8 to 8:30 and 2:30 to 3. I'm not always the coach that's on there though.
No.
You never know who's good. Ryan Heckenberg loves to do Ask the Coach.
Jordan's really good at it too.
Jordan loves to do Ask the Coach. Like Ask the Coach is fun and it's easy. I want to make sure you all remember that it's there. Okay, because it's really used for a couple things. You have that fleeting question that goes through your mind at 6 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't call me, right? Write it down on a piece of paper and jump into the Ask the Coach Zoom and ask the question. Now, that's one purpose for it. Now, if you're in the middle of a contract negotiation, I know Christina has used it several times when, she's in the middle of a home inspection. Well, it's not critical, right? Because it's not 5 o'clock with a 6 o'clock deadline because she manages her deadlines better than that, right? So it's not urgent. It's not critical. The world's not going to come to an end if she holds it. So a lot of times Christina or somebody else will jump on and say, hey, on my contract, this is what we're looking at for the inspection object resolution. How would you write this? Okay. Here's the other thing that Ask the Coach would be really good for. Just jumping on and listening. Right? How much value would it be if you jumped on Ask the Coach and Amanda and Nikki were on there and we were strategizing how to deal with a septic issue up in the mountains? Do you think that would be valuable to listen to?
I want to take this subject class.
I've got to go take some water and mineral rights classes. Yeah. But yeah, like use this, right? Here's what normally happens on Ask the Coach, because it happened this morning, because it happens all the time. I've got it logged on my phone and I swipe the Zoom to the left. It's still active. And I sit and play a game for 10, 15, 20 minutes, waiting for people to show up, and they don't. So I hang up. But I got some good Candy Crush time in. I don't play Candy Crush, but it was the only name of a game I could come up with quick. Okay. So you guys make sure you're using that, because it's there for you, right? It's there for you because you get a better me, or whichever coach is on. Because when we're in the middle of something, put yourself in your other jobs or a past job that you've had, and you're in the middle of a project and somebody rings your phone and goes, got a minute? What just happened to your day? Your project lost its steam, right? And did you really focus on that person's problem, or did you just say enough to get them off the phone? Probably the latter. You said enough to get them off the phone because you were busy, right? Coaching 80 people, I can't handle got a minute. So you can learn from each other. It's a focus time. Most of the time, I kid you not, I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Okay, so write down your questions, call in, keep me busy, make me enjoy that time again. Okay, all right. How many of you are working with buyers at some level right now? Either in the very beginning level, or you're actually out showing houses?
I'm like talking to 20, 30 right now.
Well, can we get some of them to actually like move?
I know. Well, some of them is challenge. It's just they want a house that's unreasonable. That I need to spend time. Sorry, no.
It's all right.
Sidetrack, but some of them are Colorado Springs bound, ex-military, and I realized I needed to know the market better than I do in Springs.
Call Bob.
I know that's what I'm gonna maybe drive down there with Bob.
Yep. Ask Bob if next time he's showing houses in the Springs, if you can do a ride along. Yep. That's one way to learn it, right? The other way is to do the same way we learn. How do we learn the market up here? Let me ask you that question. How are you learning the market?
I love Megan Eller.
You love Megan Eller. How else are you learning it?
Going on RE,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Maria.
going on RE and just looking at inventory.
Yep, looking at inventory on RE Colorado. Yep. How else are you learning? One of the things we should be doing every week is previewing 10 homes. And if you don't have any buyers, you can still go preview 10 homes. It's called an agent preview. Okay. Hit the houses in your neighborhood, hit the right, like there's no better way, because there'd be nothing worse than walking out your neighbor and they say, hey, do you know anything about that house down the block that's for sale? And you go, what? Right? But if you say, yeah, I know, blah, 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 now all of a sudden your neighbor just thought you knew it all. You will get to know the market very quickly. So that's the other thing you could do, Jeff. Just pick a day and go spend a half a day in Colorado Springs and go preview 10 houses in a day.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done that a couple times now, but there's still, I didn't realize how big Colorado Springs is now. Woodland Park to.
Yep. So you're learning.
Can't think the east side, that I didn't even realize it was there. But anyway, it was just because I lived there 26 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it's changed.
It's changed a lot.
Mhm.
I didn't know Woodland Park is part of Colorado Springs.
No. Well, pretty soon
Cool.
Monument's going to be part of Colorado Springs. I remember my dad back in the 70s saying we'd be driving out here to see our family and he'd go, man, Denver and Colorado Springs, they're just getting so big. At some point in time, you won't know when you left Denver and entered Colorado Springs. He's starting to be not too far off.
No, it's truly true.
Yeah.
As a kid, my grandparents lived at Castle Rock,
Mhm.
and Castle Rock feels like you're just part of Denver anymore.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, so several things with buyers. Oh, by the way, next Monday is our joint coaching group at 10 o'clock. And then we'll lean into and move right into the regional call at 11. And it's National Fair Housing Month. And so last week I went to, Julia Lachey was here in town and she did a class about the color of real estate. And every single one of us that was there walked away with just some whoa. So we're going to spend a little bit of time. I want to maximize my time with the coaching group and only teach it once because it's that powerful. But being consistent was my number one takeaway from that. Being consistent. One of the things that I talk about all the time is, are you taking buyers out who aren't pre-qualified? Who aren't pre-approved? Are you taking buyers out because who haven't talked to a lender? Are you verifying people who claim they have cash? Are you looking at the proof of funds? Right? If your rule is you have to be pre-approved before you'll take them out to houses, that goes for everybody. Not just one person because you don't feel like it today, but everybody. Okay. The other thing I strongly encourage you to do is to get buyers under a buyer agency agreement. But I'm not going to put them under, for me personally, in our business, we don't show houses unless they're pre-approved. I don't even do online searches for them unless they're pre-approved. Because I don't want to create a search for a $700,000 house and they can only buy a $400,000 house. Right? I'm going to defeat my purpose. And so I won't even set them up on RE Colorado until I have a pre-approval letter. Now, if I've got somebody who's got some credit issues, my questions to the lender would be, so once those are solved, give me a budget. Right? Because the lender will know after they've talked to them, like maybe it's not today. They have to do 4 things and then they'll be ready to go. When they do those 4 things, what's the budget going to be? Because here's the key to that. Now I can keep them excited. Okay. Pre-approval, or at least talk to a lender. If I have a path to yes, I put them in RE Colorado. Okay. If I'm showing them homes, I have to have a pre-approval letter. Okay. I'll show them on the internet, but I'm not going to take them out. Okay. One, because my time is valuable. Okay. Not because it's me. Your time is valuable too. We got mamas, we got all kinds of stuff, that all other obligations, right? Don't be wasting that valuable time that we have in our life to go show somebody who's not qualified to buy a house. Okay. Unless you really want to. Okay. But I wouldn't. I also won't show people houses more than one time without a buyer agency agreement. Okay. Why would I do that? How many of you are afraid to present a buyer agency? If you do your buyer consultation correctly, they will be begging to sign it. Because if you don't have a buyer agency agreement signed, what are you? What's your relationship with them? Transaction broker, right? Is a transaction broker the highest level? No, you're just opening doors. You're just a key. You're just the unlocking person. Okay. When you have an agency agreement, you have a fiduciary responsibility to that client. Now you can give them your opinion. You can coach them. You can help them see the differences between different properties. You can talk to them about the pros and cons. Okay. So get that agency agreement. Here's the other reason you want it. I kid you not, this almost happened to an agent in the coaching program. Fortunately, the guy was a jerk to Stacy, so I decided not to go in for the close. Okay. Customer comes walking into an open house we're hosting. Love the wife, love the parents. He seems okay. We start making a connection. He used to work for the same big bank that I used to work for. Out looking at $1 to $2 million homes. Okay. How many of you want that buyer? Right? Well, just as I was about ready to go in for the close to schedule a formal buyer consultation and get them to sign a buyer agreement, he became a jerk. And I decided I didn't want to work with him. Now, Jeff knows me and Chris very well, and Christina fairly well. Can you think about how bad he had to be for me to decide that?
Pretty ugly.
Pretty ugly. He was nasty. I'm like, I don't need to work with you. Okay. But had he not been like that, I would have had a buyer agency signed with that guy. There's no doubt in my mind. Instead, we had another agent who was out showing this family properties multiple times. Oh, yeah, Susie, when we find the house, you're our girl. Guess what? He had no loyalty to Susie at all because I could have gotten him. Right? If you have a buyer agency agreement signed with someone, they are saying, you are my person. You are my agent that I am choosing to work with. If I go to an open house, I am going to tell them I am working with you. Okay. Protect your time, protect your investment. Okay. Questions on that? All right. So I'm going to do in 12 minutes what I plan to do in 40. So it's buyer season. It's selling season. Spring is sprung. Look, I even got a spring top on. And it's warm in the office. So I already took the sweater off. It's going to be hot in here later. But here's the thing. The market's a little different, right? It's a little more competitive than it was in November and December of last year. It's not as nuts as it was a year ago, right? We don't have that, thank God. However, it's still competitive. Houses that are priced well and show well are getting multiple offers. So as a buyer's agent, I want to talk really quickly today about a few strategies that we can be using about how to get a leg up on the competition. Okay. One, you got a pre-approved buyer. Okay. That goes without saying. Okay. So first of all, make sure when you're pre-approved buyer, regardless of who their lender is, make sure you've had a conversation with the lender before you get to it's time to write a contract. So if someone were to come to me and say, here's my pre-approval letter from Mitch Friedman at CMG, and he's got me pre-approved for $550. And that's so great. Let me get Mitch's phone number. Okay. And I'm going to call Mitch and I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Margaret Kate. I'm working with Susie Jones. And she sent me over a pre-approval letter that had come from you. And I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and get to know you a little bit. Okay. Mitch is going to tell me about how great he is. He's going to tell me all about his company. So then I'm going to start asking questions. So the pre-approval that I received is for $550. Is that a $550,000 house or a $550,000 loan? Big difference, right? They could buy a $2 million property if they put $1.5 million down there and within the budget of a $550 loan. So I'm going to verify what I have. Then I'm going to ask Mitch, one of the other questions I love to ask is, so this 550, is that your limit or theirs? Why would I want to know that?
maybe they'll stretch a little bit if the situation came up.
Exactly. Right? I might be showing them $550,000 homes, but I might have to go up to 575 to win it. I want to know if I've got the ability to do that with the lender. I will always respect the buyer's self-imposed limits. However, when they fall in love with their dream home, that extra $5 a month becomes less of an issue. So I need to know what I'm working with. I'm also going to ask the lender, talk to me about what kind of loan type they have. Are they FHA, VA, or conventional? Why do I want to know that? Well, if it's FHA or VA, I better not be going and showing them houses with peeling paint. Right? And if I identify things in the houses that we're writing an offer on that I know is going to be a problem with an FHA or VA appraisal, let's get ahead of it. Right? How we become valuable is it's Timmerman, Stacy. And it's Stacy at stacytimmerman.com. And no E.
Well, in conventional too, you can also write offers with lack of inspection issues, things like that. VHA, FHA, you can't do that.
Well, you can. You do not have to do a home inspection on an FHA loan. There's nothing that says you have to.
But VA, you have to.
The appraisers are going to look at it with that same safety eye.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. No, you don't have to do a home inspection. Now, that's a different conversation. Okay. Ask the lender. Do they need money? Do we need to worry about closing costs? Are we looking at a 2-1 buy down or a 3-2-1 buy down? What kind of closing costs am I looking at without it? So if I want to write that into an offer, I know what I've got to work with and play with. Okay. So I want to know as much as I can from the lender. Now I've taken him out shopping and now we found the house. The first call I'm going to make is to the listing agent. I want to develop a relationship with that listing agent. Okay. Because if I can get them to like me and I'm competing against multiple offers and I'm this super professional, highly friendly agent, is that going to bode better than the guy that just sent them an offer in an email and didn't call and text him? When I talk to the listing agent, it sounds like this. Hey, Jeff, this is Margaret at Keller Williams. I just showed your property over here on Main Street. Buyers are highly, highly interested in it. Just kind of wanted to call and get some information from you. And then I pause. Because sometimes Jeff will just start spewing. The number one art in negotiation is to let the other person speak first. Nobody handles awkward silence well. Okay. So when I talk about negotiations, I have a rule. It says, "Ye who speaks first loses." Okay. Now I'm calling up Jeff. My client really likes it. Calling about the property. I'm going to put a pause in there and I'm going to give it just enough time to start getting awkward to see if he'll start talking. If he doesn't, I'll say, "So Jeff, just really quick, what do you got? What are you and your seller looking at as far as timelines? Because these are some things I want to take. There's some things I want to take into consideration as I'm writing the offer. What are you guys looking for timelines? And specifically around the acceptance timeline. Because if Jeff knows his client is out of town and they're not going to be back in town until Monday night and they're not going to review the offers till Tuesday morning, would that be something I might want to know? Yeah. I'm going to make my deadline for acceptance Tuesday. Because remember, I'm easy to get along with. I'm the nice agent. I listen. So Jeff, what about closing? What does your seller need? Okay. Now, if it's a vacant property, I already know the answer. They want it quick. Okay. By the way, that's the other question I'm asking my lender. How quickly can you close? Does it have to be a 30-day close? Can you do a 21-day close, right? How about appraisals, right? I'm going to ask all those questions. So Jeff's going to tell me, right? Quick close is important, blah, 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 blah. Fantastic. So how's activity been this weekend, Jeff? Now, here's the other thing. If I could tell by how hard it was to get my little showing window done, or I see a stack of business cards on the kitchen counter, When I call Jeff, my very first question is going to be, so Jeff, how you holding up? Because it looks like this place has been busy. I care about Jeff. How you doing, buddy? I don't know him. How you holding up? Is your phone ringing off the wall? Compassion, right? I got compassion for Jeff. He's got to be going crazy. Now, if it's a property that's been sitting there for 6 weeks, I'm probably not going to start the conversation that way. Right? How you holding up, Jeff? Well, I've been out on the golf course because nobody's calling about it. That's not what he wants to hear. He doesn't want to be reminded that his property's been sitting there for 6 weeks. But if you put it on the market Friday and it's Saturday and there was a stack of 50 cards in there, you could probably sure Jeff's about ready to tear whatever hair he's got left gone. Other than price, Jeff, what's important to your sellers? Right? These are the kinds of things that you're going to start finding out is important. Now, some of the agents are going to give you the BS stuff. They're going to tell you, well, we only want inspection limited to health and safety. Yeah. Everybody wants that. What's important to your seller? Now, Kathy Peterson has a great line and I absolutely love it. So Jeff, what do I need to put in my offer that's going to make you look like a rock star to your seller? Ooh. Yeah, well, yeah, because you go to Coffee Talk and she talks about it a lot, right? But not everybody does, right? So find out as much information you can. Now, if you find out from Jeff that you've got other offers, then I'll ask. So Jeff, you got any other offers in hand? What am I competing against here? And he'll tell me, hopefully, most of us will at least tell you if we have offers or threats. And some of them will tell you what the highest dollar amount is and some of them won't. But I just keep poking and prodding and getting as much information as I possibly can so that I can counsel my buyer about how to put this offer together. Make sense? So, all right. What are your takeaways today? Maria, what'd you take away today? It was a fast hour.
That I need to get my clients more excited about it instead of just know a little more.
Mhm.
So
Dive into their why. Why are they? Because you're working with a bunch of buyers right now, right? And you're getting people excited, but you have people that don't have a reason to get
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't have a, well, except for the gal who had to re-sign her 6-month lease, but you don't have people that have a strong motivation. So you have to get them excited in other ways. And even her, we need to get her excited.
Okay.
Good. I love that. I think that's a big thing into that buyer consultation. Why? What's driving the move? All right. What else? What else did you take away? Christina, Jeff?
I took away talking to the lender and finding out more. Give me more options. Or less.
Yes. I was on a Zoom this morning. Actually, I wasn't on the Zoom. I was watching the start of a replay. And understanding lending and financing is more important this year than it's been in years for us. Not down to the minute detail, right? You don't need to know their credit score, but you need to be aligned with your lenders to understand what programs they have. Because as we're meeting more and more buyers, because buyers are out right now, right? Does your lender offer a down payment assistance program? Do they have a 3-2-1 buy down program? Do they have a program for first responders? Do they have a program for teachers? Understand what programs your lender has. For those of us that have worked with Mitch for years, he's got more programs available to him now than he has ever had. Right? But being able to speak to that when you find someone who's got an issue that you could maybe solve. What'd you take away, bud?
I actually have a question, but I'm sure that we can do it the next session. But a couple of the listings, they're like, why should I move? Because I've got a 2% interest rate or whatever, real low interest rate, and I'm going to go to a 6, and I'm going to have to drop this house size or whatever kind of thing. But I want to move, but the interest rates are whacked.
So that will be a great one. Well, to a certain, I will make sure that gets put into the buyer thing next week. I think it's twofold. Well, so did you only buy this house because it was a 2% interest rate? Is that the only reason you bought the house?
These guys know.
But that's my point, right? Did you only buy a house because of the interest rates? Well, no, we needed a bigger house because of the blah, 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 right? Whatever their story is, right? People don't buy houses because of the rates. Right?
They want to move though.
Okay,
The interest rates is the challenge. They're like, I have to downgrade my house to keep my payment similar.
yes, and when the rates were that low, Jeff, the buyers at that point in time were having to do insane things to even get in the houses to get those rates. So are you familiar with the appraisal gaps that some buyers were having to pay in the last couple of years?
So yes.
Right? So, you know, people that were having to take 50, 60, 70, $100,000 of cash to be able to get even win the house to get that 3%. I would argue the money, what they lost in overpaying for the house is the offset to the 2% rate. In our current market, you can buy the house for fair market value and not have to use cash to close a gap and wait for the market to catch up for the price that you're paying for your home.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so that's one way you can do it. I mean, that wasn't very polished, but
No, that's a pretty good argument I can take from there.
yep.
That the market was so hot because the interest rate was so low.
They were paying significantly over market value
Yeah.
and they're paying for it today. So, all right, you guys have an awesome week. Let me know what I can help to do and hope to see you in a class soon. Bye.